Hello, everybody. Welcome to the A Little Bit More podcast with Pastor Kevin. I'm your host, Lee, who asked the questions to Pastor Kevin to get a little bit more conversation going. So you've been back in the pulpit now a week after being gone the week before.
Back in the saddle, as someone said.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I'm a
cowboy.
cowboy.
The reason you're talking about that now is you are an outdoorsman now, because you spent time out west with Jana the weekend that Connor kicked off this series. You and your wife went to a marriage retreat. Is that right?
Yeah, we went to a marriage retreat. You may remember Ron Kloffenstein.
Oh, good old Ron. Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ron.
Yeah, he led a marriage retreat, and so we went out to the Wild West.
Wow.
And we rode some horses.
I was going to say, I saw a picture of you and a horse, and I was like, is that real or Photoshopped?
I kind of said I would never get on a horse, and here's my reasoning why. They have their own brain, so they can make their own decisions. I don't like to be on something that I'm not in control of, right?
I
so
don't
that's
trust
probably
any
more
animal, period.
Right. So that's probably more flaws of me than anything else. So the wranglers come around at dinner time and say, "Hey, who's riding a horse, tomorrow?" And I'm like, "No
way.
I'm not doing that.
Nope.
Not going to happen." So the morning
I knew a horse that bit a person's finger off.
Right.
They're dangerous.
Yeah. So I watched everyone go out, and we tried to do some hiking. Jan and I were going to do some hiking. This is... I wasn't planning on telling the story. This is the indoorsman part of me. So
a little bit more.
We got the map, and we're going up. And the person at the desk said, "Oh, just go up the stairs, and then you'll be up hiking. There's a nature trail up there." Jan and I probably spent 20 minutes trying to find the nature trail. We never found the nature trail. So that's the endorsement. You can't even
find the beginning of the nature trail.
No, could never find the head of the trail ever. We found where people do archery. We found
everything else.
We made our own nature trail. So I was a little defeated. I'm like, man, I can't even hike right. So that afternoon, I'm like, Jana, how about we just get on a horse and go?
Oh, so it was your decision.
It was mine. And she goes, "Are you serious?" I go, "Let's do it. Let's go ahead. Let's go." So we went up and we did the walking part, and we were going up very mild, and we saw this bald eagle fly right over us. And I'm like, I was hooked there.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
that ignited a little outdoorsman in you.
Yeah. So twice
You've only seen pictures of those in magazines.
Oh yeah. So twice a day for the rest of the trip. My knees are kind of hurting a little bit, but I absolutely loved it. It was so
You
fun.
horseback rode, how do you say that?
Yeah.
That many times?
Yeah. So 9:30 you wake up and you can get on your horse right after breakfast.
What was your horse's name?
DX Hombre.
What?
So I think the DX stood for the ranch that it came from, because they lease other horses, but it was Hombre.
That's Spanish for
brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
That's why I was C+ Spanish.
Yeah.
Brother.
That's he was the coolest horse. We had an understanding.
Are you missing your horse right now? I sense that
I miss Hombre a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
I never thought I'd hear you say that ever in my life.
And he had, I think I have a video of it. He had swagger. Like the other horses didn't, but when he'd go,
ooh, he's like dancing to his own beat.
Yeah, he was doing his own thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a great time.
Yeah, it was an absolute
good
blast.
to get away, disconnect a little bit, spend some time with your wife.
Yeah, and I'm sure there will be some other stories
and your horse
and Hombre. Yeah, DX Hombre.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we Connor did a great job jumping in, kind of bringing the intro for us of Galatians and giving kind of some context of what's going on and what Paul is trying to preserve. Not necessarily that he owns it. Once again, the Bible is meant to be read as a meta-narrative. It's not just true here and then true here. Like God's truth is God's truth. The truth is not relative. So it all works together. And so this thing that he's protecting is the gospel. And because people are trying to add things to it. And unfortunately, we still live in a world where we're putting adjectives, we're adding things to the gospel. Anytime anyone tells you, whether it's a pastor or podcast or anytime they add an adjective to the gospel, be very leery. And I'm not going to give examples because there's a bunch of agendas, but just anytime.
Connor did a good job explaining that in his message section.
Anytime it's before the word gospel or after the word gospel, be so leery.
It doesn't need any other words.
It doesn't need, it's just the good news. And so the chapter 2, what Paul's really doing is he's kind of flexing his apostles' muscles a little bit. He's going, hey guys, let's check some things out here. He goes to Jerusalem, and this whole thing with Titus, this whole thing with Peter, and him and Peter kind of go back and forth with what's true, and because Peter kind of doesn't want to sit with people that aren't Jewish. And
it's interesting you see like these little disagreements. They happened back then too.
Yeah.
In the church.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's
trying to arrive on what's correct.
Yeah. And honestly, it's sending mixed signals. Mm-hmm. That's what's so speaking of mixed signals, this was a couple weeks ago, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm dead asleep, and I don't even know if I've told you the story or not.
I don't know. Doesn't sound familiar.
Dead asleep at 11:43, and
You've already been sleeping like 4 hours.
Yeah, because I go to bed so early. Our dog starts howling.
Okay.
And we were never sure what our dog's name is. Gipper. She's a golden doodle, so don't think some like
Not like an attack dog.
Nah, attack dog. But she starts howling and barking, and I'm like, she's never done this before.
I was saying, I'm not a dog person. This sounds like it's not
never
normal.
happened. So I pick up my phone, and my phone is going insane with all these alerts on our cameras around our house.
Uh-oh.
So I look at our driveway, and there is police cars and ambulances in our driveway.
What?
At 11:43. I haven't told you the story, have I?
No.
So 11:43, all this commotion is going on. So I quickly trying to get my shirt on, and I'm going out. Our bedroom is on the back of the house, and then there's a bathroom, and then there's my office. So I go out the hallway to turn, and there was a guy with a flashlight that met me in my house. He's standing in my house.
What, Kevin?
Yelling police. And I won't go from being dead asleep to woken up.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that met me. He didn't have his gun out, but he had his hand on his gun and his flashlight. I'm in my house.
Word.
I just put my hands up and I go, what's going on? He goes, medical emergency. I go, there's no medical emergency.
Yeah, you woke me up.
And there's a zillion things going on in my head. How did you get in my house?
Yeah.
So anyways, I said, there's a 97-year-old who lives on the other side of us. Maybe go check Norm, my buddy Norm. I said, maybe there's a life alert thing going off or whatever. So he doesn't explain himself. He just walks out of our house and tells all the EMTs next door over.
No.
And I'm standing there and I'm trying to get answers. I'm like, why is my front door open? Why are people in my house? How did they get in? What's going on? And I wasn't getting any answers. So I just kind of shut my door, locked it, and I tried to lay back down. And I'm kind of watching them on my phone. They're doing their thing. I think they're just doing their job. So I just kind of let them be. And I'm praying for Norm because Norm's been a great neighbor to us. I'm like, maybe there's some. So I'm telling Jana, and she's asking me all these questions. I don't have any answers for him. So we both are just kind of quiet. I think she probably thinks I'm trying to sleep. Vice versa. I feel like I just chugged a whole pot of coffee.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I just closed my eyes. I'm like, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. I hear a bang, 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 police. So they at least didn't walk in. They're banging on the door. I go in there and they said, Is Don Brown here? I said, Don Brown? I said, that's my grandpa. He's been dead for 2 years. And they said, well, there's a medical emergency for Don Brown. I go, I highly doubt it. No.
What the heck?
And I go, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, his life alert button is going off. I said, we canceled that 2 years ago when he passed away. And so this whole thing happens, and I'm like, well, maybe you can check on my grandma who's at Van Crest. She was fine. This whole thing, they never solved it.
What the heck?
So my whole point of all that is that sometimes there's mixed signals going on. And we don't know why the mixed signals, right? But it creates all this commotion.
That is a crazy story.
It is insane.
Did they go and wake up Norm?
Yeah, and he was fine.
So he got shaken up too.
Poor Norm, yeah.
Goodness gracious.
So the whole idea is like there's these mixed signals. So when everything was done, I actually did like the officer that
I have so many questions.
Yeah, the officer that was in our house, he was one of the last to leave. And it was when I was still kind of hoarse. You remember I couldn't talk? He was across the street, which across the street is the funeral home my grandpa started. He parked over there, and I go over there. I said, "Officer!" I'm just trying to yell, "Officer!" And he finally heard me, and he came over, and I go, "Now that this is all said and done, I have one question. How in the world did you get in my house?" Yeah. I said, "I get you were trying to do your job, but this could have been a vastly different story."
Yeah.
Like, how'd you get in? He goes, "Well, when the dispatch said that there was an emergency at your house, it also had the door code. We never changed our front door code because it was just my grandparents' house. I never thought anything of it. But when he had Life Alert, he
had that program.
He gave it to the dispatch, so they thought he was still living there, and they just walked in.
That's crazy.
It could have been so bad. They could have gone to our kids' rooms first. They could have been standing over me sleeping.
Could have been defending yourself and shot him or something.
I know. That's the thing that
that's super scary.
It was so scary. Anyways, the whole point.
Was your grandpa buried with his Life Alert button?
Well, that would be hilarious. He was kind of an ornery guy, so that would be like one last thing that would be hilarious. But this whole mixed signal thing that Paul is kind of flexing his muscles and saying, guys, like there's all these other things, these mixed emotions. They can create all this chaos, all these questions. But if we don't stay to the purity of it, if we don't stay and keep the main thing, apart from me, you can do what? Nothing. John 15, you can do nothing. So even though we rely on all this human stuff, our goal is to rely on the one, the source, the owner of all things. We spent 3 weeks going over this whole thing that Jesus is enough, right? And because he has enough, we have enough to steward. And because we have enough to steward, we have enough to give. And Paul's talking about the same thing. Don't change the gift. Don't rearrange it. Stop doing that. And those people over there that you refuse to eat with, they were made in the image of God. And they need the same pure message. And so when we rely on other things, it creates this chaos. And so that's really what Paul's talking about in chapter 2, is this whole idea that Peter's like, man, if Paul wanted just to if he wanted just to make friends, he wasn't doing a very good job of it because he's calling people out. He's being a truth teller. You brought up something really interesting about 4 and 5.
When we're going through this is what jumped out to me is, because I'm fascinated by this stuff, but this matter arose, verse 4, because some false believers had infiltrated our ranks to spy on the freedom we have in Christ. So think about that.
Yeah.
But he said, we did not give in to them for a moment so that the truth of the gospel might be preserved for you. That's nuts that these were trying to infiltrate, these spies. And made me think, sidebar, when your kids are older, when you take them to Washington, D.C., go to all the other national, Smithsonian stuff, but you have to go to the International Spy Museum.
Oh, yeah.
It is one of the best museums we've ever taken our kids to learn about the history all the way back to, this is New Testament, Old Testament Bible times, and even like there's stories all throughout history of how spies work. Fascinating.
Is it anything like Spy Kids?
Very much so.
Okay.
And James Bond.
Bond.
That was all inspired by real spies that did stuff like that, hiding guns in umbrellas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're really off track. But I thought that
we've been off track this whole time.
That this matter arose because some false believers had infiltrated to spy on the freedom we have in Christ. So they were interested in it, and wanted to sort of figure out how, what are they talking about? Are they?
So remember who Paul is. So before Jesus had died, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, when he did something or said something, they would go out and they would plan, right? They were spying on him. They were going to the times where he was preaching all these things.
Well, they thought Paul was a spy in the first place.
Sure.
He was like, hey, let me in here. I'm really a Christian.
Wink, wink. Yeah. Yeah. And that's,
they didn't trust him for a while. It took him a long time to build up that trust.
Yeah. But he also drank the Kool-Aid. He was murdering these people now that he is a follower. He was murdering. Killing. You look at the story.
So
of
they
Stephen.
were weary for a good reason.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So, but Paul's trying to tune some people up, and we can read it historically, which we should. And Connor did a beautiful job saying that this is not to us. This letter was not written to us, but it is 100%
unless your name
us.
is Kevin the Galatian.
Highly doubt it. But it's for us, right? Like,
yep.
Mankind hasn't changed much. Keep the main
true.
thing the main thing. We can't do anything apart from him.
That repeats. Yep.
And man, like, we don't need to add anything to the gospel.
Well, I love we're taking our time going through this book. It's going to be a wonderful way to lead into the greatest season of all of the year, Christmas time. It's coming, folks. It's coming quicker than you'd think. So anyway, thanks for a little bit more today.
Yeah.
We had some fun stories that we didn't. I didn't know I'd hear that story. And make sure you lock your doors and keep the spies out.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Until next time.